Well, today I'm going to show you one of the most iconic South African dishes, Cape Malay Bobotie. This is such a traditional dish. It's going to be made over a cast iron pot, over the fire. It's going to go low and slow. We're going to pair it up with some beautiful spiced yellow rice and some stewed peaches. It's going to be made traditional way. Let's get stuck in. One of the first things we're going to get stuck into is chopping these onions. We've got 2 onions. So Cape Malay Bobotie, it's traditionally comes from Cape Town, right? Because we had the Dutch East India bring these spices along, and from Indonesia and from Malay, that section that you get up their area. And these spices were traditionally curryish and also sweet, tangy, and spicy. So that's the typical Malay flavors, not like the Durban curries that you'd often have in Durban. That's more an Indian spice. This is more Malay. And this is such an easy dish to make. Minimum effort, maximum satisfaction. Birds are chirping. Oh yes, actually, if you see red, like there, that was the red dye from the bird, the sugar syrup that we give the birds. And I had so many people saying to me, like, it was a great recipe, quite a few of them. And then they'd say, how do you make the sugar water for the birds? So that's literally 4 cups of sugar, white sugar. That's if you're interested in this recipe, right? And then 5 liters of water and about 2 teaspoons of food coloring. But when you mix it all together, that water mustn't be pink, it must be red. That attracts the birds. Like when they see red, they just go for it. So it's an interesting cooking show. Cooking for you guys and some cooking for the bird recipes. Anyways, we put birds in all of our shots, so I guess that's why we've got some bird enthusiasts. Great. Well, we've got our onions chopped and prepped. Let us chop our apricots. So now, some of the tangies that make this Bobotie are saying, apricots. Well, I prefer apricots in this dish. Traditionally, some people put in raisins. I like apricots. And Bobotie is known for apricots, right? You do put in apricot jam and Mrs. Bull's chutney and these type of things, right? So this is going to be fantastic, right? Lovely little pieces of apricot when you're biting into your Bobotie. Another thing is, the way I always tasted it, the way my mom made it, was with these apricots. And no, actually, what happened is, she used to put in raisins and sultanas. And at that stage, when I was a lighty, I just did not like raisins, like at all. I wouldn't eat them in anything. I would eat them raw, but not boiled or steamed, or just it put me off everything. So my mom had no alternative but to substitute it with apricots, which I think is a fantastic substitution. And another thing is, some people prefer it with almonds sprinkled over, like, toasted almonds over the dish. That's also traditional. It just depends on what side of the family you came from and where the dish was inherited from, right? So this is the way that we do it, and this is traditionally your traditional way. So I add in around about 8 apricots here, and this is for 1 kilogram of mince, and it's going to be beef mince, right? Okay, let's move that to the side. Our fire is coming along quite nicely. Now we can just get that pot on, and I actually discovered a nice McGafter. I was using my bricks to balance my pot on, but I found this McGafter, and it's wonderful. It works perfect. It gives it some extra height as well. Take your pot, check it out. Now it gives some nice coals that you can put in there. I mean, that is fantastic. So I've now upgraded my boeremakkerplan bakstene to this. Well, I think the next thing we can get started on is soaking the bread. This comes in the mince, can you believe it? Yeah, it just binds that mince together, right? That's why we do it. So let's just get these off. Give some to the birds. Okay. All right, and let's take our milk. We've got 250 mils full cream milk. Let's get that on there. Get that completely soaked. And now that we've got that part prepped, now we're going to add some garlic. So we've got 4 cloves of garlic. You can chop the ends off like that. That just makes it easier for when you're going to squish them down to actually take that peel off much easier. Okay, check it out. It actually works. So my squishing mechanism, I can chop it right 1,000 times and then I can push it down and squeeze it, or I can take a pestle and mortar, I can smash the things, make a paste out of it, but this works pretty well. It's a little squishing mechanism. It's got little holes there, and you just put it on your garlic and you give it a squish and you move it around like a seesaw, and then you can see there's the garlic. I mean, that would have taken me a good, for all that garlic, I don't know, 5 minutes or so to get it done. That would have added useless content to the video. You'll be happy that this went so quick. So there we go. All of our garlic is prepped and done. And now, you know what? Let's get this guy ready. Let's get him on. So get that over there. And now we're going to get our pot on. So it's heating up quite a lot, you know. And the other thing is, you know, I really want to enhance these flavors, you know, really bring out individual flavors of everything: curry, meats, beef. So I'm using beef tallow from a little farm just outside here. It's called Familiar. They have their own produce that they make. And I think, yeah, Bertus Basson's new restaurant is there as well, Toevlug. So they actually make this, made with love by Toevlug. So no advertising involved there. I'm just giving you some information. So we've got 3 tablespoons beef tallow, so I like stirring my onions in a little bit first, and then I'll put my garlic in, because garlic's going to go like that. It's done very quickly, so the cooking times on your garlic and your onions they're mismatched. So just get these done just a little bit, and then you can chuck your garlic in. They're looking good now. Okay, time for some garlic. Let's get this garlic in. Nice. 1 minute of stirring, and then we're going to go in with our spices. We've got 5 teaspoons of Cape Malay curry spice. Yeah, I do this one by Cape Herb and Spice. It's got all the lovely flavors that you can imagine. So let's get that a little bit stirred in. I mean, they add roasted garlic, turmeric, ginger, coriander, cinnamon, bell peppers, fennel chilies, black peppers. I mean, you can't go wrong with adding these lovely spices, delicious Cape Malay spices. And then we've got 1, 2 teaspoons of turmeric, because I want that extra yellowness in the dish, because that's what Bobotie is, right? Okay, let's give those onions and garlic a lovely stir. Now we're releasing those aromatics, and my word, it's smelling fantastic. It smells like I'm sitting in the Boerkaap having a lovely Cape Malay dish, except I'm doing it here at home, on a lovely cast iron pot. Now we've got our lovely spices, our lovely flavors coming out there. It's time for the mince. Kilogram of mince. Any mince that you like. The beef mince. We use beef. I just prefer it that way. It's our traditional way that we made it. Here it goes. Let's separate it. We don't want big chunks. We want it to be nicely mixed in there. I mean, yeah, we're not making Cape Malay meatballs, so just continue doing this. Alright, so our mince is done. You know, no browning is necessary over here. Let's just get it off with my Man van Staal glove. I just want to move it to a cooler side because we're going to be putting in the lovely chutneys, Mrs. Ball's chutney now, and the jams, and as well what's super important is we're going to put a raw egg in there. So we don't want to cook the egg, right? And we're going to put our bread in there as well. So it needs to be cooled down. Like if you're looking at the texture, right, you can see it's now not clumpy, it's loose, it's looking fantastic. And I have ruined my spoon, but you know that that is going to be a proper Bobotie with this turmeric covered spoon. That's the right color that you're looking for. Let's get some of those lovely, delicious flavors in there. Okay, so we've got lovely, smooth apricot jam here. This is where the flavor happens, right? 3 tablespoons of apricot jam, 3 tablespoons of brown vinegar, and 6 tablespoons of original Mrs. Ball's chutney. That's it. So now we've got our sweet components with the lovely vinegar as well. And we've got half a lemon. Lovely and tangy. And then we're going to take our seasoning with salt and pepper. I'd say a good teaspoon of black pepper. Let's give it a stir. Just want to mix it in there a little bit. And we can add in our apricots. Ta-da! So, those flavors are lovely incorporated. And of course, you have to taste test, right? Now, this is the only time that you're going to adjust the flavors of the sweet and sour. You can't put more curry in right now. If you do that, it's going to be grainy. That's why we added it in right in the beginning and incorporate it into the oil. So, this is basically how the mince should taste, right? A bit more sourness, touch of vinegar. Okay. More vinegar. Yeah, there we go. Remember, Cape Malay Flavours is all about balancing the sweet and the sour. If you don't get this combination right, you're not getting the dish right at all. However, after we've made these adjustments, we always have the recipe in the description. So go check it out there. Let's give it a taste. Magnifique. Okay, let's get that bread in. So let's just get that milk squeezed out. And if you, our neighbors and our dogs, we're in the suburbs, right? We're in the burbs. So it's just natural. Okay, and it goes, just get that mixed in. Now, time to add 1 egg to that concoction. Let's do that. You know, it is super important, once again, to have that coolish so that it doesn't scramble your egg. Alright, let's get that in there. Mix it in there vigorously. Alright, that's going to add some silkiness to your flavors of your dish. Great, let's go make our custard. Alright, now we're quickly going to make the custard. Let's get that going. So we've got 2 eggs. Just mix that a little bit. There we go. And now we put our milk that was soaking in our bread over there. I've discovered an escapee. Can't use that. Okay, let's get that mixed in. Okay. And now we take our half a teaspoon of turmeric. Yeah, That's going to give it a lovely, beautiful color on top of your dish. Make sure to get that all incorporated. That is roundabout ready. I mean, you're not going to build a froth into this egg or anything like that. Like, that's what you're looking for. Just let it incorporate nicely. All right, let's get that pot back on and let's get the custard on. Okay, guys, it's super important here. Move these coals away. Made enough coals for tonight's braai. Okay, we want things to go very slow here. We've added chutney. We've added apricot jam. These things have got a tendency to burn. So you want these separated, and only now and then can you feed your fire. And better to go low and slow. Sorry I took so much time to tell you that, but it is important. Otherwise you come back and say, what the flip, man? You know, this, how did he do that? Yeah, like, this is exactly how you do it. All right, let's get that back on. Now, another important thing, you have to flatten this down. And that is so that when you add your custard, you know, that'll form this lovely layer on top. And that it won't be in this crevices, right? So you want that nice and flat. So let's get our lovely mixture on here. I don't want to create any holes in there. And just get it all over. Man, that's beautiful. And then we take our bay leaves and we just dot them around everywhere, shove them deep in there. That looks fantastic. Let's cover it up. And now let's get some coal on top. So we want to bake that custard from the top, right? So once again, don't put too much coal here. Like, I would say that's even dangerously enough. But we want to get it so that the top caramelizes and forms this beautiful crust on it. So that goes for around about 25 minutes. Let's get stuck into the rice. All right, guys, now it is time to make our lovely, fragrant turmeric rice. So let's get our rice in here. But first, let's get this guy on. Woohoo. Well, okay, so I have run out of gas. We are in a situation here. I could do it there, but I haven't. I need fire. You know what? So, hey, when stuff happens, you have to make a plan. We're going in the kitchen with the rice, so we'll move into the kitchen. We'll do the rest there. We're going to do these guys there as well. So, you know, we have to make a plan. Hoe maak 'n plan? So, laat ons maar gaan. Daar so in die kombuis en maak hierdie goeters. Something to rescue, right? My blowtorch that I love lighting fires with is the same. Takes the same cartridge as this guy. So, see? So, we got lucky today. Whoa, shribbit. Okay. Let's get him in there. Crisis averted. Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Wow, okay. Check your things, eh? All right, cup of rice. And simple measure, 2 cups of water. Like, that's always the formula. Follow this formula, you won't go wrong. And then we take our turmeric, a teaspoon of turmeric. Now that is a teaspoon, right? And then for that extra flavor, that butteriness, we take some ghee. Yeah, ghee. So we take 2 tablespoons of ghee. It's going to make the world of difference. And then let's take a little bit of salt. I'd say around about 2 teaspoons of salt. Okay, let's get that stirred in. I mean, look at that color already. It's magnificent. I mean, check it out. Check that color out. So what I always say, Oh yeah, I forgot my 2 cinnamon sticks. The cinnamon's just going to bring that lovely warmth, that lovely fragrance and smell to this dish. You know, combined with that, on top of that, beautiful, match made in heaven. So, get this to a boil. I always get it to a boil without a lid on. I watch those bubbles disappear, and when it comes to just the layer of rice, and you got the water and just bubbles like, then you know it's time to put it off. You put it on very low heat, put the sucker on, let it go for 5 to 7 minutes, take it off, and then put it in a nice cool place. We're going to put it around about there, and it's going to go and steam itself until it becomes nice and fluffy. Alright guys, check it out. Can you see these little bubbles there? And these little holes that it makes? Check, there's this fragrance from the cinnamon. My mouth's drooling. Alright, so once it's there, get the lid on and turn it down completely low and let it simmer like that for the next 7 minutes. And then after that, take it off, put it down there and let it rest. And then it's going to steam. It's going to be magnificent. Okay guys, that's gone 7 minutes. It is ready. However, the key here is don't open the pot. I know it's going to be ready. I've made thousands of rice pots. So let's just put it on the side. It'll be lovely. There's definitely some heat coming from there. It's going to keep it going. Let's get onto these beautiful creatures, the stewed peaches. Let's get this guy on again. Oh, well, he was actually low. Let's get some water in there. This is a cup of water, and then half a cup of sugar. We use white sugar. Now this dish comes from my wife's family. They love these stewed peaches. And I must say, the one time when we were having Bobotie there, and we actually had stewed peaches. I thought it was the craziest thing. Because to me, stewed peaches with custard is a thing, right? But these stewed peaches with the Bobotie, that curry, that balance, that sour, that sweetness, it's fantastic. So it got me into stewed peaches. So there we go. These go for around about 20 minutes with the lid on. Let's get that lid on. And now we get to chill out. Chill out on the couch, check these birds out, see if we can see any interesting creatures, and have a little bit of a sip of wine. Cheers. Let's take a look. I've been managing the coals, putting more coals on, just feeling the heat of the coals. So you see, still got some really good hot coals here. Moment of truth. Oh my Lord. Look at that. Beautiful Bobotie. I couldn't be prouder. That's delicious. Okay, let's get it to the serving station. Some lovely rice, some stewed peaches. Let's dish up. Look at this beautiful yellow rice. Now, oh wow, that cinnamon is coming through. See how nice and fluffy it is. Fantastic. Bit of spillage there. Let's dish that up. Lovely. Oh man, you must smell this and look at the color. I mean, how magnificent is that? And then this Bobotie, like, it turned out proper. This is a proper Bobotie. Like, I mean, I'm so super chuffed with that. That's looking incredible. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, let's get that dished up. Wow. Oh my Lord. Oh my word. Magnificent. And then some of these delicious stewed peaches. Look how gnarly and sticky they are. Look at that. The syrup that's just coming from there. Let's go for 3. Yeah, there we go. And now some of this lovely banana. There we go. Just a few slices. Nice. Just for that lovely banana-y flavour. Look at this, guys. Beautiful. I mean, I'm so chuffed. Look at this bobotie that came out, the mincemeat. Look at that layer of egg and custard on top of there. That came out perfectly. So let's get stuck right in there. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Look at that. Okay. Listen, I'm not just saying this, but those Cape Malay flavors have really come out very nicely in here. I mean, that spice, that turmeric, the cumin, the curriness that the Cape Malay flavors bring is magnificent. That custard is fantastic. I mean, this is truly South African, right? Brought down in history for 300 years. Yeah, right on this plate. It is beautiful. You get that curry, that tanginess, that sweet, that sour, and this rice is beautiful with it too. And these peaches, my wife's favorite. Look at this stuff. Oh my. Really, I can't describe to you what this actually tastes like. If I had those words, I would tell you, but sweet, sticky, sour, curry, Malay, turmeric, banana, cinnamon. I mean, that's what it tastes like, right? Oh my lord, this is fantastic. All I can say is, you have to try this. You have to try this. The recipe is in the description. But this is a recipe you need to add to those books. Those recipe books are yours. Keep them in your mind. Think, flipping hell, we have to make this dish. Make it. It's like something you've never tasted before. Chilled out Sunday, Saturday vibes with your family and friends. I mean, it is lovely. So, come join us. Click subscribe. Leave us comments. Tell us what you think. And if you've made this dish or if you've tried it, let us know your recipes. Come join us on the next recipe. Cheers. Oh, Lord.